In 1996, after being retired from the NBA for nearly 2 years, Michael Jordan returned to the game and had one of the greatest seasons in NBA history. He led the league in scoring, All-Star MVP, First Team All-NBA, First Team All-Defense, led the Bulls to an NBA record 72 wins, and went on to win the NBA Finals. The icing on this historic season, a Finals MVP, the fourth one of his career up to that point. But anyone who watched this finals in real time will tell you that that finals MVP was his before the series even began. Michael was the undisputed greatest player in the world. But he actually wasn't the best player in this series. That was Shawn Kemp, who statistically had a better series than Michael Jordan did. In terms of efficiency, production, impact, Shawn Kemp was playing better than any player on the court for those 6 games. But as we all know, the Finals MVP award is reserved for players of the winning team. But what if it wasn't? What if the Finals MVP was awarded strictly to the player who had the best series regardless of the outcome? Well, some things would stay the same, but not everything. Today's video is sponsored by Keeps. Keeps is a subscription-based service that focuses on making it easier and more affordable for men to treat their male pattern baldness. Some of us are getting older, fellas. You gotta take care of yourself, do a bit of maintenance. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of the hair you have, Keeps has you covered. Keeps offers clinically proven treatments to combat the symptoms of hair loss, and their treatment plans are affordable, typically half the cost of pharmacy prices. Each treatment plan is personalized to fit the needs of each individual user, and the products are delivered straight to your door. With Keeps, you can get quality, expert care without ever visiting a doctor's office or pharmacy. Their products are award-winning, affordable, and come with the necessary resources to help you keep what you got. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/JxmyHighroller or click on the link in the description. That's KEEPS.com/JxmyHighroller. With the 2022 NBA Finals heating up, the inevitable discussion about who the Finals MVP will be are in full swing. I really wish I was joking when I say that I just saw an article that had Kevon Looney with the 3rd best odds of taking home the Finals MVP. But the real discussion here is if Stephen Curry will win his first Finals MVP, because now in his 6th Finals appearance, he still doesn't have one. The one accomplishment that Steph has yet to achieve up to this point in his legendary career. Many NBA fans will argue that the 2015 Finals MVP should have gone to Steph, but instead, it went to Andre Iguodala. Fast forward 7 years, and this one award continues to be up for debate. Did Andre Iguodala truly earn that Finals MVP, or was Stephen Curry robbed of the most coveted award in basketball? Well, according to the numbers, if the award truly went to the most valuable player in the finals, then it shouldn't have gone to Steph. But it also shouldn't have gone to Andre Iguodala. It should have gone to LeBron James. Because for those 6 games, LeBron was by far the best player on the court. By no means was anyone else playing even close to the level LeBron was at in the 2015 finals. Imagine an NBA where losing in the finals did not disqualify players from being crowned the Finals MVP. I mean, the award is the Most Valuable Player award, not the Most Valuable Player on the Winning Team award. So, what would that look like? How different would things play out? And how would the legacy of countless players be altered forever? Okay, now stop imagining, because I've crunched all the games, awards, and data to find out. By combining each player's box plus minus and each player's game score, we can get a Finals MVP score. Of course, there are things a player can do that won't show up in the numbers, but this Finals MVP score will give us a really good idea of a player's total impact throughout a Finals series. Now, I went through the dreadful process of finding the Finals MVP score for every player in every game in every Finals series since 1985 to find the rightful winner of every Finals MVP for the last 37 seasons. If the Finals MVP was awarded to the player who played the best in the Finals regardless of the outcome, it would look like this. Out of the total 37 Finals MVP awards, 9 of them did not go to the player who played the best in that Finals series. But let's take a closer look at this because there's some really interesting information here. Of the 9 Finals MVPs that should have gone to a different player, 3 of them should have gone to LeBron James. In an alternate universe where losing in the finals doesn't automatically disqualify a player from winning Finals MVP, LeBron James would have 7 right now, the most in NBA history. In 2018, he outplayed everyone on the court, but the Finals MVP went to Kevin Durant. In 2015, he had the best series among all players, but the Finals MVP went to Andre Iguodala. And in 2014, he was easily the most valuable individual in the finals, but lost the Finals MVP to a 22-year-old Kawhi Leonard. Now, in the 2011 finals, Dirk Nowitzki had one of the greatest individual playoff runs in recent NBA history. But according to the numbers, and please, go easy on me, I'm just the messenger, Dwayne Wade was the most valuable player in that finals series. D-Wade averaged more points, more assists, more blocks, more steals, was a far more efficient scorer, and was far better on defense. In my opinion, Dirk's finals performance was one of the best I've ever seen. And yet, the numbers suggest it was one of the most underwhelming finals MVPs in nearly 40 seasons. But if that's not crazy enough, here's something you don't hear every day. Ray Allen should have been a Finals MVP because unlike the players we've listed so far, Ray Allen was actually the best player on the winning team in the finals and still lost the Finals MVP to his teammate Paul Pierce despite having the best series among all players. In 2007, Tim Duncan was the best player in the finals, but the Finals MVP went to Tony Parker. This would have given Duncan 4 Finals MVPs, further solidifying him as a top 10 player of all time. But there's actually more to this story, because in the 2005 NBA Finals, Duncan was the Finals MVP when it should have gone to Chauncey Billups, who was statistically easily the best player in that 7-game series. This would have been back-to-back Finals MVPs for Billups, which would have made him just the second point guard in NBA history to have multiple Finals MVPs. Now, a lot of NBA fans will argue that during the Lakers three-peat from 2000 to 2002, both Kobe and Shaq were equally as valuable to the Lakers, and some would even argue that one of those Finals MVPs should have gone to Kobe. But the numbers suggest otherwise. In fact, the gap between Kobe and Shaq in those 3 finals is so large, it makes you wonder how this was even a debate. Don't get me wrong, without Kobe, the Lakers don't win those championships. But Shaq was not just the best player on the court for 3 straight finals. He put together one of the best 3-year runs in the finals that the NBA has ever seen. Only 2 players have had a better 3-year run in the finals: Michael Jordan from 1991 to 1993 and LeBron James from 2016 to 2018. But of all the changes that surprised me, nothing prepared me for the 1996 finals, where according to the numbers, Shawn Kemp was actually the most valuable player in the finals. This was statistically the worst finals of Michael Jordan's career, so that explains part of it. But never, ever would I have expected Shawn Kemp's performance in the 1996 NBA Finals to be more valuable than MJ's. But it was. Kemp was more efficient and productive on offense, and he had a larger impact on defense, which means that Shawn Kemp was the one and only player to ever outplay Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals. Words that I thought would never come out of my mouth. Fortunately for Jordan, this Finals MVP was awarded to him, and his picture-perfect Finals reputation stayed intact. Some more interesting information I found out throughout this experiment was that Giannis's 2021 Finals performance was the second greatest performance since 1985. The only player to have a better individual performance in the Finals was MJ in 1991. You'd think such a historic performance would be talked about more often, but it seems like most fans have overlooked the dominance Giannis displayed in those finals. But what about Stephen Curry and his case for a Finals MVP? Not including this season, the man has played in 5 finals but has 0 Finals MVPs to show for it. Was he really robbed of the award? Would Steph have a Finals MVP in his trophy case if losing in the finals didn't disqualify him from receiving the award? Well, let's take a look. In 2019, the Raptors defeated the Warriors, and Kawhi Leonard took home the Finals MVP with a Finals MVP score of 32.8. Steph had a great series despite the loss and finished with the Finals MVP score of 29.8. So the award rightfully went to Kawhi. In 2018, the real headliner ended up being Durant versus LeBron. And after sweeping the Cavs, KD went home as the Finals MVP with a Finals MVP score of 38.3. Steph finished with the Finals MVP score of 25.2. So, once again, this award was never Steph's to begin with. In 2017, Kevin Durant put together an absolute masterpiece on his way to winning his first championship with the Warriors. And in this 5-game series against the Cavs, Kevin Durant had the third highest MVP score in the last 37 seasons of 44. And once again, Steph was the third most valuable player on the court in that series behind KD and LeBron. In 2016, after completing the one and only 3-1 comeback in Finals history, LeBron went home with the Finals MVP while putting up a Finals MVP score of 40. And this award was rightfully his, since Kyrie Irving finished with the Finals MVP score of 25.5, and Steph finished with the Finals MVP score of just 16.4. Which leaves us with one Finals MVP that should have possibly gone to Steph. As we spoke about before, LeBron James was easily the best player in that series, finishing with a Finals MVP score of 34.8. Andre Iguodala finished with a score of 19.9, and Steph finished with a score of 23.8. Which means that, in reality, Steph was the best player on that winning team in the finals, and that Finals MVP award should have been his. He was robbed. Stephen Curry was robbed of the 2015 Finals MVP, but according to the numbers, so were many other players. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time.